let's get into this awesomeness. We're talking about, can you be too grateful? Do you think that you can be too grateful?
Can you be too
grateful?
This
is to my friend here.
So I'm going to throw this right out, and I'm going to say yes. Now, what do you say? The answer's no. The answer's no.
I would have just about fallen off my seat if you really backed that up with a reason as to why you would say that.
Yeah. Can you be too grateful? So if I said, yeah, no, you can't. You can't.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest, and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Hello.
Hello. Here we are with another deliciously motivated mindset conversation. I love having these conversations. This one today, I'm really looking forward to all the different awesome places we're going to go with this one. As we've said before, we start these conversations off with a title and then we just kind of riff from there. So let's see what kind of mischief we get up to with this one.
I know. This feels a little playful, cheeky one, doesn't it?
It does for sure. But before we get into this juicy conversation, we like to rate ourselves on a scale of 0 to 10. So at 0, you're feeling really peaceful, calm, balanced, harmonious, inside and out. And at 10, you're feeling chaotic, stuck, questioning, OMG, wondering what's the next step, what's the solution, etc. And we move back and forth and up and down. But this tool, this is just an awareness tool to check in. How are you feeling in your body? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling in your thinking process? And just witnessing it, just having an awareness of it, an appreciation of it, and just, using it to navigate throughout your day. Oh, now Deb's just realized now I'm going to ask her what her number is.
Listen to me. I'm the one who goes, I'm the one who digs my toes in at certain things. You can just see it. I would say I'm probably a 0, but I'm not a 0 because I'm actually quite excited about this topic.
Mm-hmm.
And excitement wouldn't put me at a 0 because excitement's not a 0 thing. So I'm gonna say a 1, but I'm blooming excited about this topic. So I'm gonna say a 1, but I feel I'm not tired. I feel I've had food and I feel okay physically and mentally.
Yeah.
And so I would say a 0, but I'm excited. And
right.
because I would say excitement doesn't sit in the 0. It's more a space.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say a 1.
Good. So am
Moira's like, just give me a number.
So am I. I was ready. Yeah. 1 was for me too, and for a similar reason. I'm intrigued. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a really good conversation.
Better be.
Better be. We've set that up now. And so, dear listeners, we encourage you, and we actually always do encourage you to have a pad of paper and a pen or pencil if you can, because we'd like to think that you jot down some things and maybe even have a giggle or a chortle or 6.
Yeah.
But just write down the number. Where are you? And then when we do our halfway break, just check in again, and then check in and recheck in again at the end. The whole concept is yes, number one, to just have an awareness of what's going on for you. This is about owning your experience, being the boss of you, being responsible for yourself and to yourself, and then shifting things, right? So it's about, where am I here? How do I feel about myself there, etc. And having a really good, loving relationship, you with you. That's kind of what this is all about.
Yeah,
So,
as much as I find the rating, I go, oh, I've got to do it.
yeah.
It's a really great grounding process, because it just makes you go, oh, that's the reason why I've had lack of sleep and I've got a crooked neck and I've got this and I've woke up with whatever. Oh, now I know why I'm a 9.
Yeah.
So I have to avoid everybody
until I get some of this addressed. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that part about it. It's the actual when Moira goes and your number, and I'm like, oh shoot, that's right, I've got to partake in that.
I've
Not
got
like I don't
to reflect now.
Yeah, but and it's okay. I have been the 10. I have been the 0, and I've survived. I'm here.
Yep. Likewise. The other thing too is to be aware that no number or no state is permanent, but it can stay longer if you pretend you're not there.
So stop bullshitting yourself. Is that what you just said? I'm BSing yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, no BSing yourself.
Yeah.
That's that belief system thing, remember?
Oh yeah, that's a belief system. That's what I meant.
Of course. But let's get into this awesomeness. We're talking about, can you be too grateful? Do you think that you can be too grateful? Can you be
too
grateful?
This
is to my friend here.
So I'm going to throw this right out, and I'm going to say yes. Now, what do you say? The answer's no. The answer's no.
I would have just about fallen off my seat if you really backed that up with a reason as to why you would say that.
Yeah. Can you be too grateful? So if I said, yeah, no, you can't. I just, even saying it, I felt wrong saying it. My whole core was going, this is not even, like, why are you even joking? Like, Deborah, just stop it. Just go straight there. The answer is, can you be too grateful? No. There is so many things to be grateful for, but I will add, so the answer is, can you be too grateful? No. However, you can be an a-hole with your gratitude.
You can be disingenuous, right? You can be.
Moira's going to put her big words.
You can inherit it from somebody else, or think, oh, I should be expressing gratitude for this, but not have the genuine feel. That's what you mean by the a-holeness of it, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And that is that's a lower level tier.
Yes.
Like when I say below the line part of it.
And that can even show up in being obnoxious, can't it? If somebody's like below that and just sort of saying things just because, they think they should, and they're going to earn something as a reward by showing that level of gratitude.
So it's all around your attitude. Because if Moira said to me, oh, I just had a problem legally and it's just cost me $1 million. And if Moira's telling me that and I go, well, I'm sure you can be grateful for that. Or what's the benefits of that? Or come on, there's benefits in there. I tell you what, if someone said that to me on Zoom or not, I'd try and reach through that Zoom and throttle them.
And say, come here while I slap you a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. I would definitely go from a 0 to 100 of someone, because so it's around your energy. Can you be too grateful? And it's about, we hear people talk about certain things and we say, just hold space and energy for them. You don't have to tell them, oh, there's a benefit in that. Oh, this same story happened to me and it happened to a friend of mine and they got through it. If you're separated from somebody and it's been a pretty traumatic event, we don't want to hear your other stories. Oh, well, I had this and my neighbors had this and they found someone better down the track. That's the last thing you're thinking of when
Absolutely. But that's actually being quite disrespectful, because that's
Mm.
making it about you, as opposed to, can you just hold space and be compassionate?
Yeah.
Because, and that's a great piece to bring into this conversation, Deb, because that's the thing, is that just because I can sit here and look at a situation, any situation, and go, oh, there's a gift in that. But I
because
can't.
we know there is.
Yes, and we do, and that's the truth. But I'm on the outside looking in. I'm not sitting in it. If I was sitting in it, I would want the space to do whatever I needed to acknowledge, to surrender, to take the baby steps through it, to then go, okay, now, God, I got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Right? Then I'm there.
And Moira and I have been through some stuff recently in this last month or so, but I love that. And Moira, I trust that Moira has a brain and can get through things.
Right.
But she knows I'm there.
Yeah.
So when Moira says, this is what's going on, I did this with my toe, and she's rattling away and I'm semi-listening.
As you do.
Yes, I do. I'm not going to say to her, well, that toe is really helpful for you because right now it's making you stop and it's making you do this and that. I'm not there to tell her that. And I'm not going to there to say to her, oh, come on, be grateful for that. Like, that's right. Moira has to find that stuff on her own, because I know when people come to me and they say an issue, my head automatically goes, oh, look how that served them. Look how this is. And I know this, and I know, and I can think of 5 to 10 benefits to their world of this specific toe thing going on. But it's not for me to tell Moira that. It's, by the way, it's not Moira's toe. In fact, it's not even her ankle or anything, but no, but I mean, it's not for me to say that to Moira. It's for Moira to find that herself from her own heart and her own stuff. And I'm just there to give her a little guidance and hold that space along the way. And that's that part of being grateful that you have a friend who can offload to you and share stuff to you, that you can have that energy and space and surroundings that you can just hold that without projecting, without trying to bring in your old stories or anything, and just, you're holding energy. It's like holding their hand and rubbing their back, but you're not doing it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. But I also think that there's another level in here too, because let's say that week after week, I was coming back and saying, I'm still in the same situation, or I'm still working it through, or I don't know how to get through it. For me, I'm thinking that it's important to have, and this is how I would deal with it if it was somebody speaking to me like this, is I would then ask for permission. Can I help you look at something differently? Or can I offer an opinion? Or can I make a suggestion? Are you
open to feedback?
Yes,
or are
absolutely.
You open to what I'm hearing from you? Yeah.
And you and I have done this over the years. We've held space and helped each other work through various issues. And it is just a kind of sounding board. I think sounding board is so much more important than that, what you were saying when, when I had this is how, exactly. When I had this is how I did it. And so you should be able to do it too.
Oh, just because your partner's left you. Look, my friends, cousins, sisters, neighbor is dog owner's vet. They had the same thing and they found another partner really quickly and they're amazing now. You're like, okay, thanks for bringing me into the neighbors, sisters, cousins. Yeah, shut up. I don't know. It's the last thing I want to think about when I've broken up with someone is the neighbors, sisters, cousin, whatever's got back with someone who's even better. We know one door shuts and one opens. We know that stuff.
We do, yeah.
But it's about just appreciating that door being shut right now. Mm-hmm. And whether that's yourself or whether that's in a conversation with someone else, it's just about appreciating right here, right now, and that's being in that present moment.
Absolutely. Something just occurred to me when you were saying that about the person saying, oh, her neighbors, partners, uncles.
And it's true too, because they do.
But I was just realizing
And that
that
happens with pregnancy. I'm just going to say, when someone goes, I'm pregnant, oh my
It
God, and they
happens.
start telling you stories from the neighbor's cousin's sister, or
It
I read
happens
something.
with so many things. I can remember when I'd had a surgery, it happened with that. I can remember when I'd broken my arm, it happened with that. But you know what? I was just realizing the people who are projecting like that, they're uncomfortable. They're actually finding it, they're having discomfort around holding space for somebody in that situation. And so therefore, they're trying to dressing up that discomfort by saying, oh, you'll be fine because this person, and they're trying to give you some evidence to paint that. Don't you think?
Which is an interesting, because I wouldn't have thought of it like that until you've just said that now, because going back 10 years, 12 years, 15, I've been in my business 16 or 17 years now. Going back then, when people would tell me stuff and they would start, and in 10 seconds, I know where I'm going to take it, and I'd have to listen to them, and I'd be drained from listening. And then I got to the point I would just so I would listen, and I would say to myself, oh, it's a 2-minute shopping list. Just let them rattle off everything. You've already listened to it. You don't need to write any notes. And I would do that. And then I went, actually, no, listen to everything, because there's a point there. Everything is vitally important. But in that first 10 seconds, people often tell you their issue.
Yes.
And I would then I went through the stage of, I'm just going to stop them there. Just stop. You've said this, let's just go there. Because I would be impatient, because you can call it ego, my excitement of, oh, I know what their issue is and I can help them, and I can think of something. And I've had a client recently who said the same thing, and I just helped them this morning, and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden I've gone to pom-pom cheering. Oh, I can help them. I know exactly, in that excitement. And it's not a holding energy space. It's I can help you. Just shut up. That's what I can tell you, because I've got all this stuff in my mind that I can help you with, because I just help someone, and it gets to that erratic behavior. And that's absolutely about me, not about them.
Oh,
because,
totally.
And it's all about, look at me, I can help you.
Yeah.
Which is, and I went through that phase. Been through a few phases to where I am today. And Moira's like, phew, thank goodness I didn't know you back then. But in saying that, you can listen to someone, and it is just about going, this is not my problem to fix. This is not my thing. They are just sharing. Unless they go, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
And just listen. But if Moira turned up every single week moaning about the same, and I'm going to say moaning because it gets to that point when, if after the third conversation you see them and they're still doing that same stuff, and you're like, oh my God, that is when you can ask permission. I don't ask for permission in a consult, because they've already got that permission. They're going to get it. They're going to get the stiletto kicking Deborah. It's going to come anyway. But in a conversation with a stranger or somebody or someone who's just saying the same thing, and they haven't shifted from that mindset, you do ask permission. And that is part of that holding energy and space, because no one wants to be in a funk. No one wants to be that 10.
Yeah.
Like, I can appreciate the 10 because it gives you time and space. Absolutely. Because you can actually go, you know what? Everyone's avoiding me. When I'm at this 10, people are avoiding me. And I can just sit here in my own space and just not feel emotionally drained with anyone around. I can sit there. When I'm ready to move out, then I can do that.
Yeah.
So there's definitely value. Well, there's definitely gratitude in being in
I was just going to say, there's the admittance or the acknowledgement of the gratitude there. It doesn't mean I'm so grateful for it, I'm going to keep it. It's
just like, okay, I can just see that. And if you can do those little things, just those little shifts and thinking about certain things, I say to people go, oh, I can't sleep at night. And one of the things, we have counting sheep. Oh, I think I've talked to you about this.
Yeah, we have, because we do counting sheep. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just because she's on the other side of the world. And counting sheep. So I say to people, start when you get into bed, and if you can't sleep, what are you grateful for?
Yeah.
So start that. I woke up this morning. I'm grateful for that. I woke up that my pillow is great and my bed and it's nice and warm. Yep. Or I woke up and the dog had moved the duvet and I was cold. Okay, but it made me get up out of bed. And it made me assess what I'm going to do tonight when I go to bed. So it's just shifting those little things around. Now, is that being too grateful? No, it's just allowing you to function in your day and just coming more from a soul, a heart, instead of a more feminine angle. I was actually going to say then. Instead, feminine being your body with flowing
and receptive.
Yeah, and the masculine being your brain thinking.
But it's funny, just feeling into that. Can you be too grateful? There feels a wee bit like a criticism in there. Like, oh God, you're always grateful for something.
Yeah, I do have people say that to me. Oh, you're so quick to flick that around. Oh, you're so quick. And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it for 16 years, but there's still moments.
But there's always moments.
I get that I'm not.
But I think that it's when you stay grounded in the present moment, you can never be too grateful. Because it's by taking stock of all the amazing things. We don't slow ourselves down enough.
That's what happens when you have an illness or an injury and you go, oh, did I miss all those things now?
Yeah. And then you enjoy the pace. So if you are in this newfound way of, it's going to take you twice as long to do something because something's going on, it's okay.
It's funny you say that, because one of the people who I do a 12-month mentorship in the group, and one of the people just said to me, Deborah, you keep saying to me, change your energy, change your state, or it wasn't those words. It was just like, have a break, just take that time out, just, go outside and stretch and something. And she has said, I am way more productive. She said, I would have thought this is just stupid. How am I going to get up? I've got a million things to do. But she gets up and she just stretches and sometimes stands outside and just takes 30 seconds to a minute. And she said, I am more productive now in my, I don't even know how old she is, in her age than she was when she was, really, really young. She said, I come back to the desk and I have a different level of vitality. Now, that's just a way of being grateful and just being present. Go outside and feel the sun on your face, or feel the wind and go, oh my gosh, it's cold out here, or any of those things, just to give yourself a snap from what you were doing into something different.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
And that's part about being grateful, just taking that moment for you, because your world is so incredibly important.
I completely agree. And it's really important too, because when you're being grateful, you're being, what you just described is you need to take pauses and breaks from the doing in order to just be. Right? So it's because what was it? People used to talk about that, the do, have, be, right? I have to do this practice in order to have that result so that I can be this person.
Yeah.
It's the wrong way around. Because you have to be that person in order to do the things that you need to do to have that result.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm trying to say there is you don't have to do all these things to accumulate the wealth, or accumulate the good health, or accumulate
accumulate the flowers over the weeds.
Yes. Yeah. No, you need to be the grateful, calm, grounded being first. Then everything else sprouts from that. Weeds or flowers, it doesn't matter, but you have to be in alignment with it first, right?
Yeah, and there's a saying, yet again, I forget half of it. we're grateful for Deborah for getting half it, because Moira knows the other half bound to. But it's when you're grateful for things, you have more things to be grateful for.
That's right.
When you treat your wealth with respect and gratitude, you get more wealth.
That's right. We did a previous podcast episode we did was called "What You Appreciate Appreciates."
I was just going to say, hang on, haven't we talked?
We talked about this, yeah.
But that's
yeah,
exactly
same
it.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and so therefore, if you want to be peaceful, it's not about I have to do all these things to have the space in my schedule or in my agenda to be peaceful. No, you start there.
Yeah, and the gratitude is like, I'm going to say start small. Now, we know starting small is actually big. So start small. You wake up in the morning. I'm grateful to wake up in the morning. Like, that's small, but it's actually not.
Right.
I'm grateful I have bedding on my bed. Or I'm grateful I don't have bedding and now I know how to find bedding.
Right.
You know, and so those things are the small things.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the running water. I'm grateful for the wooden floors beneath my feet.
I know. And this morning I came downstairs and I had a shower in my, I've got an ensuite in my office, and I don't shower because it was early and I had a full house. And I went, oh no, my toothbrush and toothpaste is upstairs. Oh no, yuck. How am I going to talk to Moira with not cleaning my teeth? Not that Moira can actually see or smell or anything.
No.
And then I opened the drawer and there was my travel toothbrush. And I went, oh, I'm so grateful. I literally said, I'm so grateful I'm anal. This is my thing. So grateful I'm anal, and I put this in here. And then I'm like, okay, maybe not anal, Deborah, but I was. And now, is that being too grateful?
Attention to details.
Yeah. That I forget how organized I am. But is that being too grateful? No, it's actually
Absolutely
just
not.
Living in the present and thankful for that. Now, I'm not going to beat myself up because I didn't have my toothbrush and toothpaste, because I am in my office alone. And Moira, I'm having a conversation, but Moira's not going to know that my teeth
I'm on the
weren't
other
cleaned.
side of the world.
Yeah, on the other side of the world. And everyone knows that my teeth are clean now, and they were cleaned. But is that being too grateful for that? No, it's just living in the present. And when we say live in the present, it's just purely present, so present.
But also too, I think there's a huge level of trust that comes in here too, because to your point, so you go downstairs and you I've not got this, but then it's just to surrender and go, okay, so what do I have? Because when we don't have, it's like that. Every time there's not this, there is this, and so it's to trust and to always remember that we are souls that are animating these bodysuits. I have a mentor who used to call them bodysuits. So you put your bodysuit on.
I like that actually. Yeah.
So I put my bodysuit on, and then this is what's going to happen. And so then, it's like you show up to an appointment and darn, I forgot my calendar or my phone.
My bodysuit.
No, I didn't forget my bodysuit. I knew that'd be an interesting meeting. Yeah, I was there. It's just my body wasn't there.
yeah, that's it.
But it's like what I'm saying is that when we lean more into that trust and that always understanding there's always something to be grateful for, then you don't have to get into the chatter of, oh darn, I missed this or I didn't do that. Right?
I know. That's so does it really matter? Does it really matter if I came downstairs and I didn't clean my teeth before my podcast? No.
Yeah.
Does it really matter that I left my phone in the car? Right now, no, I'm being present and I've got this, or this person's running late, so I can say to them, I'm just going to whip out and get my phone. Like, does it really matter? And does it matter to you or somebody else? Because the somebody else who it matters to is
They're not in the present. They're not in the present moment though.
Yeah. Dr. John DeMartini has this thing, he calls it a universal law that he's added into the universal laws. And it's called the law of the lesser pisses.
Oh, you've talked about this before. I like this.
And who am I going to pee off the most with doing this task? And I really love that because it just means it's making decisions for you.
Yes.
What works, because at the end of the day, it's actually who am I going to pay off the most? Could be anybody. I'm going to pay off my partner, or I'm going to pay off my kids.
Right.
Someone's going to get paid off. But what makes me okay with making this decision? And that's where it is. So and that is the part of being grateful with the decision you've made, being okay with that decision, but being grateful and moving on, and not having that head space, or as I call the Pac-Man, that comes in and just wants to chew away at all your thought processes that are sitting there.
Yeah, and that, because that's the whole point, right? Is that, yeah, that's a good graphic, the Pac-Man, true in a way.
They are Pac-Man. They
Yeah.
do, don't they? You can see them coming and chomping everything, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so something that I think I like that idea, the universal law of lesser pisses. We need to write that up or something.
Yeah.
But you see, the thing is here, what I like to think of in this regard is when I am being really authentically me and accessing my own truth and speaking up with what I need or what I don't need, or what is my preference, or what is really needed for my highest and best way forward. I cannot piss off another unless they took it on board. So therefore they created off the piss off. But it can only happen that way when I am being really, really aligned and in integrity with me. Because if there is any little agenda of, oh, well, they don't matter, I matter more, or, they'll put up with me being late or disrespecting, then it's not going to work there. Right.
Yeah.
But that's the caveat, is that you being really, really in integrity and creating some space and time to actually access that. Right? Where is that alignment? Where is that essence? What is that spark that is just me?
Yeah, it is. It's just about being present. Because when you're truly present with your soul or your heart or with your body, your mind doesn't jump to, oh, what do I need to do next? What did I do in the past? What's going to happen here? There's no contingency. There's no brain chatter. It's just, I'm just present. And that is when you're truly grateful, is where the best decisions in life are made, because they just flow and there's no forcing the screwdriver.
Pushing the agenda.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's another segue into that pushing the agenda type of thing, is that when we come into any kind of interaction and we think, oh, this person has to interact this way or talk to me that way, or, put up with me having a tantrum type of agenda, then we're expecting people to play a role in our own party.
Yeah.
Which is not fair. We play our own role and give everybody else around us permission to do the same. I think that's the really important part. And I don't think you can ever be too grateful in this area of just having gratitude that you allow people to just show up as they are, be as they are. Don't take things personally. And if it does,
for agreements.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Now, and I know that don't take things personally can be quite hard sometimes.
A challenge, yeah.
It can be kind of a challenge. But at the same time, could you get into more of a space of gratitude of, you don't have to stay in that environment. If you're feeling like, oh, I can't be in this space because this person is speaking really loudly and with a lot of anger and a lot of attack type of vibe, you don't take it personally, means you can remove yourself from that environment or that situation, right?
So that's law of the lesser.
Yes.
Right there and then.
Lesser pisses.
Yeah. And I think, for me, I go, like Christmas time, people go, oh, I don't want to go to my mother-in-law's for dinner, or I don't want to go for this. And, and we've had this pandemic that's loitering. It's a nice way of putting it. That's loitering. And people were like, well, I don't want to sit at a table with someone who's vaccinated, or someone who's unvaccinated, or someone who has this opinion, and all those things. So it's not about protecting your bubble, but it's about allowing you to make your choice.
Right.
And if you don't want to go, then don't. And I
go.
know I had this conversation with my daughter recently. My partner was going out to the family lunch. They have a family lunch. And I was just like, look, I'm not going to go. I've got a lot of things on. I want to stay here. And I was telling my daughter about it. I said, oh, yeah, they've gone there and I'm doing this. And she was like, oh, Mum, but shouldn't you be going to that? And I'm like, what? No, I was literally like, what? She goes, the lunch, the family lunch. It only happens once a month. And you don't know what's going to happen to these, people you might not be around next month or something. And I'm like, yeah. And I just didn't understand until I stopped and I went, okay, Deborah, listen to her. And you're right. So for me, I was like, I'm going to get more value in my office with my partner being away. It was a Sunday, partner being away for 4 to maybe 5 hours. I'm going to get a lot more value of me in the office to get myself caught up than go and sit there and put on a smile when my mind's going all over the place and everything. And there was so much going on in my mind that I just wanted to hold my energy and what was important to me. And I just didn't get what my daughter was saying until I went, oh, I hadn't even thought about it from the other person's perspective or anything. Oh, Deborah, they look forward to having you. Do they look forward? I'm like, yeah, I can hold a conversation, all those little things. And I'm like, but I said, I'm not going to go. I've got some other stuff going on.
Right.
Fine. End of conversation. And my partner didn't hound me. Oh, you've got to go. And it was that law of the less, but there was no confrontation. What I'm saying is there's no
agenda or judgment coming in.
I said it.
Yeah.
I said it. I didn't have to say why I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
But it just came. I said, this is me. I'm going to stay because of this. Now I didn't just say it on the morning of. I'd said it, so they didn't have to get. So everybody knew. End of conversation. And it wasn't something that my partner then went, well, you need to come along. You have to do this, because then we're just going to get knuckle to knuckle. And
then you're going to be digging your heels in.
And then I'm going to go through obligation. And obligation is an ask no questions. Obligation is an absolute horrible thing because you have to do things for obligation. That's not gratitude.
Well, that's coming in with the should. You should do this.
I don't want someone coming to have lunch with me if they feel they've been brought along. Bugger off. Don't sit with me.
Me too. I wouldn't want that. My goodness.
No.
That's a perfect example of what I was trying to say about that being in integrity with yourself and being authentic. Because you just spoke. This is no, I don't want to go because
and there was I just spoke freely, not thinking there was going to be a backlash, and I didn't get a backlash. And then when I talked to my daughter, and she went, "Oh, but Mum," and she had the backlash to me, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? No." And then I went, "Oh, I can see her thinking here. Her thinking is this, and this. Oh, I get that."
Right.
But prior to that, I was like, "No, I'm not going. Isn't that rude? Isn't that da-da-da?" No, it's not rude. It's actually
so it would be rude if because there is a potential in there that it could be rude, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's going back to that being in integrity and being authentic.
With your soul.
Super important is because sometimes we do need to just take a wee pause and check in. Am I listening too much to a critical inner saboteur judgy voice, or am I really? Yeah, we don't like that dialogue. Or am I actually being true to my heart? Which your example is a perfect one of that. It's just, this is what I need. This is, and to your point, it would have been bad energy on you, but also bad energy on the people that you were with, because it would have been inauthentic. And
I wouldn't want to sit with somebody who had been dragged along to lunch to sit beside me.
Me neither.
I would have said, go sit in the car.
I'd rather just go and sit by myself.
I know. I laugh because parents go, get off your phone and engage in conversation. It's like, they don't want to. Just let them on their phone. They're not annoying anyone. They're quiet. And I think, I think that's a real thing. Well, it is a real thing, but I think it's a real thing that we do battle ourselves with. So in that situation, when we talk about being too grateful, I was grateful I had the freedom
Yep.
You can call it freedom, to speak freely and not get any backlash, which I didn't even think I was going to comprehend to get.
Yep.
My partner was grateful that I could speak that freely. And I'm sure the people at the table were grateful I wasn't there. And all the work that I did in the office, the energy that I put out with that was grateful. So it was great that my daughter brought that up. So I'm grateful she brought that up, because I just would have sat in my head and just not thought anything of it. So it allowed me to think. So can you be too grateful? No, you can't be too grateful with anything right now.
Well, you can't. And so that's
So my mum just popped in and said hello.
I've seen Moira before.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's my dear mum popped in.
to say hi.
Yeah.
But just to finish that off, can you be too grateful? No, we know that. But it's about being really tapped into the authenticity of what you need, right? What you need, what's, and follow that as your navigation tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not being run by things.
Yeah. Don't go on automatic pilot or into that hamster wheel. Always do it this way because, right?
I was just thinking of my mum coming in there and having a conversation with Moira on this
Right
podcast.
on the podcast.
And that's the stuff that people would just go, get out of here, da-da-da. So guess what, everybody? Am I grateful my mum came in? Absolutely, because it just broke.
She's a sweetheart.
Oh, we've seen Moira before. She sneaks in behind me. It's like, what's that coming up the back of my camera there? Yeah.
Very sweet.
So
Beautiful way to wrap up a conversation.
I know.
being too
Who
grateful.
started it? Who started? Did you start?
Me.
Am I wrapping?
I did.
Oh,
You were
okay.
wrapping it up.
I'm wrapping it up with a big wide smile on my face. So at the start, I'm not even going to wrap it up, because we know. Can you be too grateful? Let us know what you think about it. Yes
Absolutely.
or no.
Yep.
That's all there is to it. Yes or no.
Yes or no?
We'll go from there.
Yeah.
So both our numbers were a 1.
They were.
And we're going to check in and see where we were. So let us know where you are at emotionally on your scale of 0 to 10 now, everybody.
Yeah.
Bang that in the comments. So Moira, you're a 1.
I was a
Let's see
1.
if I can use my telepathic ways. What number are you now, Moira?
I am at a 0 with a big smile on my face.
Yeah. I'm a 0 too. I love today.
That was fun.
And I'd also like to thank my partner, because my partner was the one who went, you two are too grateful. And it was a spit at us one day.
It was.
It was a joke. It was a joke spit. Yeah, you two are too grateful. And we both, our faces just lit up and went, oh,
there's
there's
a
topic. And then she goes, there you go again. And she just walked out of the office. So
we dedicate this episode to her.
Yeah, we do. Thank you. But yeah, can you be too grateful? So that's us on our deliciously motivated mindset conversation. Thank you very much to our listeners. Thank you to Moira, and there's a whole lot of thank yous. And my mum.
And thank you to your mum, and thank you to Deb. All right, my dear. Talk to you guys next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.